Hello everyone. My name is Majesty. I'm an Atlanta-based real estate developer with $13 million in assets under management and another $50 million in the pipeline. I build and rehab apartment buildings, so stick around for some investment tips. I'm doing a series on 100 questions over 100 days of common questions I get, and today's question is, what are the different types of real estate investments, or real like properties, I guess you would say. So we'll start with the residential category. And residential properties are basically properties that are designed for people to actually live in. So that would obviously include single family homes. And that is basically like the house that the Simpsons lived in, right? Um, there's some pros there. You have your land, you have privacy. You can you got a yard usually and everything like that. You got more control over the property, what happens with it. Some of the cons are the maintenance responsibilities. If you go into investing in these, then you have these maintenance responsibilities spread over like a lot of different areas, which can become kind of difficult to manage. The next type of property we have in the residential category is multifamily homes, and this is kind of where I focus right now. And you have duplexes, triplexes, quads, all the way up to the big, 400, 500 unit complexes as well. And the biggest pro for multifamily is that you have so many income streams from many different tenants, which can be a considerable amount of income. But the con is also the same thing. You have a lot of tenants, so that comes with a lot of management responsibilities. Obviously, you have a lot going on. So property management and operations are very important in multifamily, and making sure that everything kind of stays on its level. The next type that we have is condominiums. Um, Condos they're not as popular as they were at one point, but they're still there. Some of the pros there are the access to amenities. Condos are kind of like, I would say, almost like apartments that you buy. They're usually combined with other properties that other people own. So like a complex where you only own the apartments you live in, but you get to share those amenities. So you're not renting, you actually own it, but you only own that little sliver. There's typically not much land involved. So you get access to amenities. You got a pool, this, whatever. There's less maintenance as well than a standalone home. But the cons are, well, one, you got fees. There's a lot of fees with HOAs. Also, you don't have as much property, as much control over the property. So you want to make changes, you want to do a lot of different things. You have to kind of request that. There's a lot of forced activity on you in terms of cost. If they want to change the roof, you have to pitch in on that. If they want to, so you got to kind of think about that. A lot of people have them as second homes or whatnot, but to each his own. The next type of property is townhomes, which can be similar to condos, but kind of attached properties where you have properties on your left and your right, kind of attached to you. You get a little sliver of land, and they're pretty cool. They work better for in urban areas to get that kind of I guess you say combination of apartments and houses. So they're pretty cool. They offer the balance of privacy, but also still give you amenities. So they're pretty cool. But you do have someone to the left of you and to the right of you typically. The next segment is commercial real estate, and that is based on properties that you use for business purposes. You do business in them, and the first one of these is office buildings, and I think we're all familiar with those. We're also familiar with what's going on with those since the work from home situation. So there's some benefits with office buildings. They provide long-term income usually, due to the long-term leases that most businesses have. Some businesses have leases that go decades. So that can be beneficial. but they're also sensitive to economic downturns like the COVID situation and the shutdown and different things like that. People usually get rid of their offices before they get rid of their home, for obvious reasons. So that's offices. The next up is retail. And that includes like, malls, shopping centers, places you do business like that. The pros of those are high foot traffic. That helps with sales. That helps with rental demand. You also have the cons though from your competition being like next door or across the street. So that can be a challenge for the brick and mortar stores. Next up, we have industrial properties, which is basically warehouses, factories, things like that. The pros of that is also you have steady demand from that industry. Those industries aren't going anywhere anytime soon as much as we consume. So it helps out. Also logistics sectors, they use those like Amazon is using warehouses for storage, different things like that. So a lot of income opportunities from strong organizations that you can lease to, but it also requires specialized tenants. Like you can't just put anybody in a warehouse or in a manufacturing facility. There's only so many people that can actually use that space. And there's some other types as well that are a little bit more uncommon, or that you don't hear a lot about, like REITs, for example. And REITs are basically what it stands for: real estate investment trust. And investors are able to buy shares of the REIT, and it owns and operates real estate and gets tremendous tax benefits because of it. There's certain things it has to do. I won't go into that. Don't have enough time for that. But it gets treated a certain way because of how it operates. They're liquid. They trade kind of on the major stock exchanges. So it's one way to get in and out of real estate like a stock. The problem is that you don't have any control typically over what the REIT does, similar to a stock. So that's something that you want to consider. You get the liquidity, but you lose the control. And then you also have raw land as well. And this list isn't all inclusive. I'm just going over the main categories that most people will run into. And raw land is obviously the starting point of every property or project. So it has the potential for a lot of, like, I guess, value increase or appreciation based on, location or future development, like what you do to it. You could build a structure, you could put a farm there, a warehouse, whatever. You can, lease it out, dig for oil, whatever. But there's a lot of different ways to profit from land. But the cons of that is it's just land. Unfortunately, you have to do something to it. So it typically doesn't generate income immediately. Usually have to do something to get it to do that. And then you also have to have the capital to develop the land. So that can be a challenge, if you don't have those resources in line already and you're looking for them. Probably not the best place to start. So yeah, in conclusion, those are kind of the main areas of real estate as far as the types of real estate you can invest in. Please, like, comment, subscribe, leave a comment or a question, and I'll be glad to answer it. I appreciate you guys for checking out this video. See you on the next one. Bye.